Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Okay, good afternoon, folks. 1, 2. Why is this not showing up? Excuse me a second, folks. I'll explain things in just a second. So NQ 59. Why is that not working? Strange. Okay. I won't be able to trade that one today. It's just this. Okay, folks. Sorry. I was just figuring out what was going on there, so we don't need NQ for now. I could probably trade that on the... let's just get rid of it for now. Okay, right. A little bit of a change you'll notice on my chart. So let's just have a quick say hello. Speedy, how you doing, bud? Karina, how are you? K3, how you doing, buddy? Akitri, how you? And H, how you doing? Okay, right. I'll be chatting to a couple of guys over the weekend. Rodian, not forgetting you as well. So I'm finding Mac's strategy hard lately, hard going, lots of traps, and just really hard going, hard to read sometimes. So I've just been having a chat over the weekend and having a little bit of think about things and having a talk to my wife about it. And I looked into this once before, so I'm deciding to transition over to penguin style trading, which, as most of you know, it's almost identical. It's very close to Mac's system, but it's slightly bigger, more exaggerated moves. And for instance, if I was looking, say, to go short here, rather than put my order one tick below the signal bar only to get triggered and stopped out, he generally waits for a push in that direction, preferably through that EMA, indicating it is coming down. So a lot less traps. So I was chatting to a trader buddy of mine over the weekend, Martin. Right, just excuse me 1 second, but I've got a mobile phone being delivered today. I think it's just turned up. So I'll be about, just give me about 1 minute and I'll be back. Right, sorry about that. Let's have a look. I was just about to read that. I'm about to go into that style too. Bad risk to reward. It's hard to handle, yeah. I'm just finding Pat tough lately. Now, I've been trading it now for a couple of months. It's nearly 3.5 years. 3.5 years in November, I think I started it. So, if you watched Penguin's video a couple of days ago, he talked about he started trading with Mac's system and just found it hard. Fast moving, hard to read sometimes. So he decided to come up with his own thing, and that's what he's been doing. If you look at him trade and listen to him talking about the markets, he's very good at what he does. So I've been looking at his style for a while now. There was a trade I took the other day, which was sort of his style, but he waits for more exaggerated moves and then a push in that direction, usually through the EMA, and then when it comes back, he usually picks a limit order, puts it up here. But it's a 1-to-1. He trades 1-to-1. So I've had this. I've been mulling over. Do I go for 2 points? Do I go for 3 points? Do I go for 1.5 points? This is kind of taking it out of my hands. So it's a fixed 1-to-1. Just because I've had 2 days making a weekend. Who am I missing? Okay. The prior win rate of second entries is roughly 40%. So Mac's making money of his system. Do you know? I think Mac is. Look, you can't sit in front of these charts every day and not change. It's life. You move with the markets. You know, some of the things that Mac used to do with points, it doesn't exist anymore. You can rarely get a bar with a stop and a tick above it, and not get it under 2 points. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, I've felt it, but I'm just finding we spend so much time doing this sort of stuff. It's hard. Well, I listened to that traders a Penguin over the weekend. Sorry. What day are we today? A couple of days ago. It's all right. My mother-in-law's not been very well, so I've been ferrying her up and down to the hospital while my wife's at work. So it is about context, but I just find some days, like that trade we all took last week, lovely channel down there, 2 legs up, push straight for the EMA, lower high, and loads of us got trapped. And I'm seeing Thomas Wade taking quite a few losses. I wouldn't have expected that. But I don't know, I think if you sit there for that perfect trade, I mean, we had a talk about this, Brant, didn't we? A few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. You had some of your PA accounts. You were trading 5 of them, but you were waiting for a really solid setup. And I think you'd had nothing. So I think if you're waiting for a solid setup, you may find 1 or 2 a week if you're lucky. And sometimes they seem that good, you kind of question what's going on. So and I'm looking at, let me just get one of his videos up. I'm looking at his, and it's, when he talks about it, it's kind of so obvious. And I was chatting with a trader buddy of mine, Martin, who trades his style. And he said the good thing about transitioning over is you've got all the basics. It's, we already know how to read the markets. So I was chatting with Martin over the weekend, and, where do you start your strategy, tick-wise and all this sort of stuff. But let me just show you this chart. Was it for a couple of weekends? Let's go with, I think it was it that one, I think. I'll knock the sound off quickly. So, is it this one or not? The one before, I think. Let's go with that one. Yeah, I think this was it. Now, this to me just makes so much sense. Let me just drag this in. I think it was this one. So let's just expand it a bit. So, for instance, I can't zoom in here. Can I? Can I zoom in? No, I probably can't. This trade here, we had this push up. We had 2. Let's just pause it so I can see. We had 2. Is it larger? I want it larger. Let's try that. Yeah, for instance, this here, okay? So we got this leg up. So channel, however you want to see it, overshoots. We got this leg up, and we got 2 lovely pushes down. Now, we would look to take a trade there. Sorry if it's not big enough. I can't seem to zoom in. We would look to take a trade here, but it's so far from that EMA, you generally wouldn't do it. So he waits for that big, strong push up, that big, strong bar slices straight through that EMA, and that's where he takes his trade. He puts his stop down here. So I think stuff like that is just brilliant. And same, well, he just made that one. Same again, 2 clear legs down and a push up. Once he gets above that EMA, probably not so clear, but some of his trades are so obvious. That one wasn't so obvious, but he's picking quite a few a day. Now, you guys know I've looked into this before, but it was either yesterday's or the day before. He talks about he tried scalping and just found it so hard. And I don't know, every time I listen to a professional scalper talk about a professional trader talking about scalping, they say, you know, newbies shouldn't scalp, stuff like that. Now, I've been trading 3.5 years, a little over. I consider myself still relatively new, but I just find I don't know. Markets move so quick. When the price moves, you've got to make a decision so quick. But with his, you have a little bit more time to breathe and react. You can kind of plan a little bit, and that's what I like. And he goes for 1-to-1, so yes, a little bit more risk, but a little bit more profit. So I'm coming down to one contract for this. But even if I can find a trade or two a week, that's more than enough. But I just find Pat so frustrating. And there does seem to be so many of these liquidity grabs, and if you're in the firing line, it's kind of hard to take it personally. I know that sounds a little bit childish in a sense, but you know, they say if you listen to these people talking about trading, the market's not out to get you, blah, blah, blah. I disagree, it is. It's out to get inexperienced traders and pick off their stops because it knows where they are. So I just think for me, this is probably, I've given it long enough with Pats, and I just find it a little bit too quick, a little bit too stressful, quite on, you know, on the edge of your seat stuff. And when I see these setups with Penguin, I do look out for them from time to time. There's so much, it's just slower. You have more time to think. You've got more time to move things into place and then just let it run, you know. Let's have a quick read of some of the comments anyway. If you're not a good chart reader, withdraw your trend channels. You won't be taking correct trades. Yeah. See, I think my charting is okay. It's almost identical to Max. It's almost identical to Thomas Wade's. My charting isn't too bad. I think part of the reason that when you seem to get trapped, and you do quite a bit, it just pisses you off in a way. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but let me have a look. Not sure what you were talking about. I'm a year in and profitable, 75% win rate. You have to take time to learn it. Yeah, absolutely. Context is everything. Look, when I first started learning to trade, I was told when you learn to trade, you'll kind of veer to a certain style depending on your personality. Some people suit more intraday traders, some people suit more scalpers, some people more swing traders or long-term position. I think it depends a lot. Yeah, bro, market totally out. I know it's nothing personal, but it does tend to feel that way sometimes. But I listened to him, and he started with Pats, and he just said, I just found it just hard to sort of, you know, very fast movements, not a lot of time to think, you know, easy to get trapped. And you know, it's not like I've only given it a year or so, but it's okay you're saying be profitable 75%, but I just find this style is so much more prone to traps than it was a few years ago. So it's just something I thought about, and I thought I'd just sort of give it a go. Let me have a look. I wait for a trade, 2 Pats a week because I wait for a sure thing. Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be a lot around at the moment. I like to learn a slow. It's almost identical to Pat's, but let's say Pat's is ×3 speed. Let's say, for instance, anybody ever listen to an audiobook? I listen to audiobooks, and sometimes you can speed them up to 1, 2, 3 times speed, you know, depending on how quick you can listen and take it all in. But Pat's for me seems like ×3 speed. Penguin to me is ×1 speed, and I just feel like I need things to slow down a little bit more. So trading's a personal thing. You know, it affects us in different ways. We all react to a different type of market, whether it's a faster moving market or a slow moving market. Hey Karina, how you doing? Negative strategies are not easy. Most people go 1-to-1. Yeah, I do like the fact that it's 1-to-1. You know, sometimes with this, you're risking 3 or 4 points. So that ATR is just under 3. So an average bar now, let's say 3 points. Tick above, tick below, you're risking 3.5 points to make 2. And sometimes that's the lowest it's been for a while. So I just find I just don't know. I just find it tough lately. It doesn't seem to be suiting me anymore. To me, slow trade NQ 100 ticks, Pats time 1,000. Yeah, it is a personal thing. The same readers map section is based on what? Yeah, it is exactly, Akitra. Yeah, it's almost identical to Max, but it is slightly more exaggerated moves. But for instance, let's say for instance, what's it there? Where's that? We wait for kind of this type of thing. It's me what's it move? I took a trade that, in fact, when I lost that one trade the other day, I took another after it. I forget where it was now, but it was a nice second entry, 2 legs down. But for instance, 2 legs down, a lot of people would take that trade, you know, depending on where it is, but he waits for a positive move through it. Because if you took that trade, chances are you'd be triggered and stopped. So there's just less traps for a start. Because it's more exaggerated moves, you just stay away from this. It's not part of it. Whereas with Pats, I kind of can't help but look for stuff here. You know, we spend so much of the time doing this crappy sideways. I can just rule out and I can just have a quick glance at the screen and I don't need to be glued every tiny little bit. You know, there's a second entry long there. Kind of 2 legs back, but I can just discount this stuff. But, you know, when you do get into a trade, you can get some decent points out of it. So, anyway. I just think I need more slower. I just feel like I'm on the edge of my seat all the time. And the trouble is, when you are trading in a very fast-moving environment, you are prone to making more mistakes. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? But nothing's changing. The only thing I've got here is 2,000 tick chart, exactly the same. And I've got the NQ, 2,000 tick chart, the NQ. Can't trade this today anyway because I haven't got my Guardian Angel set up on it. But I've set this at the moment for 1 trade, 1 losing trade, and then it won't let me trade then, and I'll move on to my funded futures one. But yeah, I'm just starting to understand it a lot more. Penguin, I have been watching. I do watch his videos, but so much of what he does makes so much sense. Oh, so you think Pats is too slow, do you? Yeah, there's just this. I don't think it's as let's say, is it as, what's the word I'm looking for? I think there's a lot more traps around, a lot more of these kind of liquidity grabs. So, you know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, the trouble is, and I do find, because of the concentration, so after 3 hours, I'm absolutely buggered. But I like the fact that when it's doing this, I don't even need to pay attention to it, really. You know, I know it's working up in a sort of but it's more exaggerated moves. If we have 2 attempts to go lower, he kind of waits for a push towards that EMA, whereas sometimes we take that one, and on occasion it'll trigger you and stop you out. So it kind of helps to avoid that. Fact, you know what? There was a second entry there, or a higher low, which wasn't too bad. Trouble is, last time I kind of tried it, I just kept finding Pat's setups all the time. But you know, nothing's changing. Everything stays the same. Unfortunately, we've got the. Just let me tell you something so you don't get caught out. This offer we got on now, 71% off. Yeah, the $150, $250, and $300,000 accounts still have the 85% lifetime fee. But it's only 71% off the full price. So just be careful you don't end up paying $120 or $130 for that. I don't think they've done it on purpose, but you can get caught out. I read about someone who accidentally clicked buy. They thought it was the same as the previous one. They didn't notice the amount. They just put the discount in, didn't notice what they were getting charged. So just be careful that you don't go for one of these big accounts and pay because the evaluation fee isn't the normal $40 it's been. There's 71% off. So in the case of these, it's $100, $200, whatever it is. So just be careful. Resetting it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I'm really encouraged by my funded futures at the moment. $80, another 5% off, $76. And that is your evaluation and your lifetime PA fee taken care of. I think that's a steal. So it's not many prop firms where you can go an evaluation and your lifetime PA fee paid for $76. And I'm liking what I see there. I love the fact that of the end of day drawdown, so you can go for a bigger push. You know, if you're going to push up, say for instance here, and that starts to move, you can put your stop to break even. It doesn't matter whether it goes up $10,000, comes back and takes you out for break even. That won't affect your trailing drawdown. So I kind of like you've got a little bit of wiggle room if you want to go for a bigger move. So I'm just finding it so encouraging. I love the platform, the platform which shows you all your trades, shows your best day. It's almost like a journaling one. And at the moment, I think it's a better deal because if you're paying 71% off, it's what, about $50, $50. And then if you pass, you've got to pay the fee, $140. So it's over $200. And for 76, you can get both. So for me, I think that's a better deal at the moment. So I can't trade this at the moment. I didn't set up my, why is that? Okay, I haven't set up the fact that I can trade NQ on Guardian Angel. I can only trade ES at the moment. So to see you move to a new strategy though, you have 10 PAs in the green. Yeah, they're quite damaged, to be fair, mate. Well, it's not a completely new strategy. You've still all got the basics there. All I'm looking forward is to slightly, more of a exaggerated move. But it's very similar. It's very similar, but just slightly on a larger scale. I mean, to be honest with you, my PAs have been up. The largest one has been up as much as 800. It's down to 600 now, so I've been battered lately. So, in fact, if it wasn't for Guardian Angel, I could have blown it. So I've just been a bit frustrated lately. I don't know why, but I've just found things tough lately. Yeah, I'm only trading one contract. To be honest with you, I'm not bothered about the money. I'm not bothered about whether they get blown or not. I'm more concerned that am I making progress, I mean, Wilson's killing it at the moment, but he lost 20 accounts. So I wouldn't expect you to just build up to 20 accounts and just fly. You're still going to do some damage. But I'm more... I feel like I've got a little bit of a fresh start now because I'm just finding Pat so frustrating lately. So many more traps, so much more of this crap. And there's nothing worse than getting sort of triggered and then stopped dead. Mark E. Are you a new face, are you, bud? You don't ring a bell. Where you from, mate? Look at a day like yesterday, market up 1.5%. There was barely any entries. If you follow the rules, yeah. And so many times when you follow these rules, even so many times it's congested. That trade loads of people took. I actually for once copied. I knew Marco took it, Taylor took it, and Thomas Wade took it. It was a second entry. It was a little channel up with a break, big bearish bar, but it was clearly congested. But they thought it was good enough to take, triggered them, stopped them out for 4 points. So I just find the market lately, it's almost if the algorithms have got wise to Pat's. I don't know whether that's true or whether it's a load of crap, to be honest with you, but it almost seems like those setups are getting harder and harder. You've got to be incredibly savvy. So there's kind of two legs back there, isn't there? But it's getting a little bit flat there. I just want to get back to... I feel like I've got a bit of a fresh start and I can breathe again. I've just found Pat's frustrating me lately. So, one leg, two leg. What time is it? 3 o'clock. I'm taking this a medium impact news somewhere. Something spiking this. Nothing for me there with this flat part. I've got no space. Yeah, there's something. Has anybody got any news on the chart? I've got nothing for some reason. And I don't know why. Why have I got no news? I think but news guarding not working. I'm missing something here. Sure I am. I looked on Forex Factory earlier. Let's have a look. Got the news. Should have something. Let me just have a look on Forex Factory. Calendar. There's it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. Prelim consumer sentiment. Medium impact. Why haven't I got that on my chart? I've got medium impact. Why is it not showing? Tell you what, let's remove it. Apply. And let's put it back on. Right, okay. So let's get rid of low impact. That should clear a lot of it up. There's high and medium. Why is nothing showing? Okay, something doesn't like something. So let's remove it. Apply. Let's put it back on. Apply. So why have I not got a bloody great big list of them? No, something's not working there. I'm going to have a fiddle with that later. Okay, so we know there is FM tip of that 6:25. I'll be done now. I can't trade after 6 anyway. So there's the 3 o'clock news UK time. So I'm not sure why my thing has disappeared. Reset Ninja Script. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I think. Even ahead. Well, it all popped up a minute ago, didn't it? There was a list of them, and then when I got rid of low impact and reset it, strange. Mine's not showing anything since yesterday. See, I've been with Mac for 2 years over the period of 3 years. And obviously I got it from him. So whether he's cut us loose or not, I don't know. No, who is the best student of Mac? No, who is it? Terry. Terry. Who are you, Terry? Who are you? Please tell me you're not the... do you know what? We started getting spam for a while from that guy called Max. Money Max, I think they call him on the website. And he's just so negative and just quite nasty and picky and tells you this and that. So in the end, I stopped the comments and I reset the comments back on a few days ago. And the first comment I got was from him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So that looks to me like an overshoot. So, right click and reset Ninja script. But what? How do I do it? Reload Ninja script. See, it's showing economic news up there. Very odd. Very strange. Odd. Not showing for you either. Mine is not showing. Okay, so it sounds like it's a few of us then. Mine was broke too, but right click and reload Ninja script and it popped up. Yeah, I just tried it. It didn't with me. Reload Ninja script. Oh no, that was historic data. You muppet. Try again. Penguin strategy. It's very similar to Pat. Same chart, same everything, same chart reading. But all he does, I'll tell you in a second, all he does, he has videos every day. He doesn't stream, unfortunately. But all he does is waits for like a move down and waits for 2 attempts in a particular direction and then a push through the EMA. So it's like a second entry short or a second entry long, but just a slightly blown out version. I think you can right click chart and reload Ninja script. I just tried that, didn't I? Or did I click reload? Let's have a look. It didn't come on there. Let's try it on this one. No, it's okay. I'll have a go later. I'll shut it down, reopen it, and see if we can figure something out. So what I'll do just for now is I'll remove it. And in fact, there is another one, isn't there? Let's have a look. I'm sure there's another one. There's one. Let's see if that brings something up. Okay. Right, that's the next one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's not too bad. So at least we got our backup. So that is low impact later, which is right, I think. When Max thing don't work, I'm not sure. So move them both. I'll have a play around with it later and find out what's up with it. But it's happened to a few people. It's happened to a few of us. But yeah, talking about Johnny, the penguin strategy. If you look on it, he does a video every day. I'll show you. But it's just a slightly blown out version. He started Pat's, but just found this was just so much. He just found it difficult. So that's in there. Penguin Trades. It's just called. So I'll blow it up again quickly. He goes for sort of, for instance, we got a leg up. We make 2 moves in that direction. And there's a trade there. Same with this one. We got a leg up, 2 attempts to go lower. It rushes up above the EMA, indicating, so you may take that one as a sorry, let's just freeze this. You may take that bar there. There's a second, well, it's not technically a second entry because there's the second entry there which triggered you, came down and stopped you out, but he waits for 2 measured legs and we have a measured look exactly there, and then he waits for a strong move above that EMA, which it does, and then he enters his target there. So leg up, it really is a second entry with a blown out version, 2 legs back. That's what a second entry is. But you couldn't count that as a second entry because first entry, second entry, that will be it there. That triggered you for so much, came down and stopped you out. So that's kind of what it is. 2 attempts to fade in another direction, and then we get that move up. But 24 ticks there, 24 ticks profit 1-to-1. So have a look at his videos. But it's not that difficult to transition over. I was speaking to a trader buddy of mine who did it, and it took him, what did he say? It took him a few weeks to transition over. Leg and a leg. So there's a bit of an overshoot there, isn't it? Leg down and a leg down. So looking for it. I don't need that, do I? Where's my measured legs? There we go. See, there is a measured leg there and a strong push up. So I could probably buy
Order
that.
submitted.
2 legs back, strong push up above the EMA. 2 legs back, strong push above the EMA. Two legs back, proper measured leg, strong push above the EMA. It doesn't necessarily have to wait for a bar to trigger either. It doesn't matter if it's not matching at the bottom. That doesn't matter. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time to transition. I'm not worried about accounts or blowing accounts. It's just not bothering me now. I've realised it is what it is. This isn't suiting me. I've just got to move forward. Unfortunately, I've got it set to 1 loss and I've got to move on, but yeah, well, the overshoot is usually gives us a bigger pullback, and there's a nice measured leg, which is why I've gone for it. It's a perfect measured leg. Which is the only reason I took it. So we'll see what happens anyway. But I've just got to get in there and take them. And if it is, it is. You know, I'm not really fussed about these accounts. I'm more concerned about just getting it right. It is going a bit sideways here. I don't know whether to just get out of here for...
Order filled.
Yeah, I'm just going to get... Still in there. The frustrating thing is... Right, all the accounts are closed. See those two open there? The trouble is, if I close them now and it's not in profit, it will stop me. Gap will stop me doing that. So I've got to shut that down. I've got to disconnect that when it's in profit, which is now, I think. No, it does that sometimes. Now, this may work now, but it is going a bit sideways, but I don't mind getting out of it. The only thing is I've got it set to 1 loss and it won't let me trade now, so I'd rather get out with it for break even. It's probably going to work, but let me have a look. It won't let me buy a trade now, will it? Or will it?
Order submitted.
Right, well, yeah. So this is working by the looks of things. Yeah, I didn't think it'd let me buy another trade. Perhaps I should have just left it. It's clearly 2 measured legs back. It is working, isn't it? It just started going a bit sideways, but we got a leg and a leg, so that's fine. It's not supposed to let me trade now. I'm supposed to have a break, 5-minute break. That there, look at this, look. It's going to work as well, isn't it? Okay.
Order cancelled.
It's this thing here. It's just a risk to reward thing. It just helps you plot your 1-to-1. But look at that, a couple of ticks and that would have worked. There's no setup for Pats there, though, look. I should have just left it, shouldn't I? Yeah, it would have worked. But there we go. And it just goes to show, doesn't it? So there's no Pats setup there. I don't know whether it is a good setup, to be honest with you, but it doesn't matter that it doesn't tick below there. That doesn't matter. But what I liked about it is... Why didn't I just leave it? I'm going to have to get used to leaving it. There's a perfect measured leg there. I like the way it's sat there as well. So 2 legs back. So usually when we get an overshoot, if it is an overshoot, you get a steeper correction. So 1 leg, 2 leg. On the engulfing bar, what you can't. You're not supposed to enter there because it's not. It's not what's it? Is it? It's not. That's supposed to be below here, really, isn't it? But you say the engulfing bar, it's got to tick below that to enter on the engulfing bar. If it ticks below there, it'll trigger that one and push up. But that is not an engulfing bar trade to me unless that's below there. But it would have worked 2 legs back and it would have worked. So that was a setup. 2 legs back. Whether that was one of his style setup, I don't know, but it clearly worked. See if anybody on. I'm on a. Yeah, look. It's not just me. I was right. Look, someone else has just taken it 2 clear legs back, entry there, and exit. So yeah, it did work. It was 2 clear legs back, so it wasn't just me seeing things. It did work, so perhaps I should have left it, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's at least I'm sort of thinking on the right thing. But there's no pat set up there. If I look on Thomas Ways, nobody took that. No one took it. So yeah, that one there, to trigger that one and to take on engulfing, it's got to tick below there, so a couple of more ticks. But there's no setup there for pats. But when we have an overshoot, we'll usually make a steeper correction. We did. We had a push down, a push up, and a push down, so it cleared out any cobwebs as such. But there was a profit there of, it doesn't really matter where you enter there really, but your stop would go there. So did I enter on a, what's it, didn't I? Yeah, it was it 16 ticks, somewhere around about there. which is 4 points, isn't it? No, it was a little bit less than that, so I must have come in a little bit lower. As it pushed up, I suppose the lower you get it, the better, really, but it didn't trigger that bar, so whatever there was, I think it was $162, so that's what, 3.5 points, 3 and a bit points. So it did work. But yeah, all that does is just helps you plot your 1-to-1, really. So it did work. It was, yeah, 162 risk, 162 profit. So that's what, 325 in it. So 3.25 points profit there would have been there. But I like its 1-to-1. It's nice and straightforward. Yeah, see Thomas Way's opened that up now. But yeah, clearly 2 legs back. I also like the fact that there's a second entry which goes up and comes down and stops out. A lot of times you'll get that, and that one as well triggered, came down, got stopped out, and then it pushes after the 2 measured. I think the key is 2 measured legs. So we push up and it has 2 attempts to fade, 1, 2, and then pushes off. But the bit that gets you is when it pushes strongly from the EMA. If you take a trade here, you don't know whether it's going to tick you. But that strong move indicates there's buyers in there, and then you just jump in somewhere there. But ideally, get out before the tops or close to them. But yeah, it's just a measured leg back, 2 legs, 2 attempts to fade. But yeah, I mean, the ATR's 3, and it was only $160 risk, so it's not the end of the world. I think, because my accounts have had a bit of a battering, I think I've got about $1,100 of drawdown left. So I'd have to lose about 6 trades in a row, something like that. You should consider trying it with a live account, MES. MES crossover. I have considered it, mate. I have considered it, but I'm just going to sit tight the minute. I've just stuck some money into Bitcoin, to be fair. So I'm hoping to catch that run a bit, but yeah, I might do at some point, but I just want to get some payments first, some reasonable payments. So if I can get a payment from these, that'd be $10,000. If I just took 1,000, then I might stick 5,000 in my own account. But I want to make money now before I sort of. How you doing, Nick? Anyway, what am I looking at? Where is Bitcoin at the moment? Beautiful, 58,000. We've had a bounce as well. That's good news. I personally found trading the MES harder compared to, yeah, strange, isn't it? Strange. Trouble is, how can you trade them both at the same time? Because the one will be slightly different, won't it? Isn't the MES slightly different? In fact, you know what? I'm going to put that there. I thought the MES looks ever so slightly different, and if it does, the bars might not be in the right place. I should have just let that run, really. There's no point in getting into it, but it started going sideways, but sometimes it does that. But yeah, no one on Whatsits took that trade, but Penguin they did. Yeah, looking at the Penguin, I didn't even see this. That one I shown you there, 2 clear legs back and a buy there after that big push, and then out of the top. That one worked. And there's another, there's another one there. 2 clear legs back. He bought that right at the push. Didn't even see this. He's just literally put this one on. What time is this? 23 minutes ago. I was all done and dusted by then, but 1 leg, 2 legs, expecting to get up to here. 2 clear legs back. Anybody else take it? No, so there's 2. 2 took that, so that's... so like I'm experimenting with crossovers on a sim account. Yeah, it's a good idea to do it on a sim account if you're going to do the crossover. Just trade a sim on the MES and then whatever you're doing and just see how it fares. Trouble is, if it is slightly different, if I enter on a signal bar here, the bar might be different. So I think the moves are very similar, but they should be, shouldn't they? But that worked like it was supposed to. So 2 clear legs back. Leg and a leg. Strong push up for the EMA. Buy it there or limit order or even try and catch it back if you want and ideally get out before the tops. So 2 clear legs back. We may get another one here. 1 leg, 2 leg. Sometimes you'll even trap maybe a couple of longs here and take them out. In this market, Apex would not approve pure max setups 1 point target. Yeah, I thought about that a couple of weeks ago because they were on about 3 or 4 to 1, weren't they? 3 to 1 ideally. So if you're going for a point, especially lately, it's interesting. Especially lately, some of these sides of the ATR, if you're risking 4.5 points and you're going for a point, yeah, are they going to? The thing I like about this is it's one entry and it's 1-to-1. So there's no big risks. There's no entering after a trade. There's no DCA, and it's about 1-to-1 risk is about as evenly balanced as you can get. So there is a second entry long there. Certainly a visual second entry long. I mean, if I see an absolute blinder, Pats, you know, I'd probably daft not to take it because it kind of is too anyway, but how many times have you switched strategies? I haven't actually, mate. I went to try Penguin about maybe a year ago, so I only tried Penguin for a while and then went back to Pats. But I don't know, I just find it frustrating at the moment. How are you, mate, anyway? How are you doing? Messing there. What server is that? So what do we owe this honour anyway? Gracing us with your presence. How are you keeping, mate, anyway? But that would have worked beautifully. So, leg and a leg. What about guerrilla trading? He doesn't do anymore, mate. I don't know whether he trades. Oh no. I didn't trade his way. I just looked. I didn't actually trade his thing, but you know that really, Gorilla is very similar to Penguin. He looks for 2 moves, doesn't he? But the thing is, mate, certain styles of trading don't necessarily suit everybody, do they? I like the fact there's a little bit more time to breathe here. But yeah, I spoke to Mac about this maybe a year or so ago. He said it's perfectly normal to be on the lookout. You know, try and find different ways of doing things, ways of improving, trying this, trying that. I'm more about the hamster and I'm more about the Stephen. Where do I know you from? Are you on? You're on Thomas Wade's, aren't you, Steve? So look, I'm sure you are. I'm sure I've seen your little icon before. I mean, really, it's not so much of a different strategy so much. The entries are slightly different, but the principles sort of the same. No, so I popped in it. Okay, it's all right. I recognise your little logo there, your picture. I've spoke to you somewhere before. Whether it's a Facebook group, I don't know, but your face rings a bell. Unless you've just got one of those faces. No, I've definitely spoke to you somewhere. So 2 legs back and a strong push up from the EMA. Leg. That's the type of trade I could get into. Okay.
Order submitted.
I got to try these things. So let's put my stop there and bring that to there. It's kind of a hidden second entry anyway, isn't it? But I got to try it. It is clearly a leg and a leg. We've had 2 bounces off this. So, there we go. Panda Bro, bye-bye money. Leg and a leg. My only slight concern here with this, it's come quite far off this. It's got close to it. So that to me looks like it may get trapped, so that's good for me. I need this to push above there. It looks like it's going to, so that's good news. Is the capybara trading you got? Watch out for. Is the what? Capybara. Capybara. Isn't that like a giant rat? Capybara. Isn't that some sort of South American giant rodent, isn't it, or something? Is that what you mean? Come on, push up above that red one. I can't see how it wouldn't, because that to me would be a failure, wouldn't it, going short? I thought that was going to get stopped out there. So let's see if anybody. I'm not worried about whether it gets stopped out or not. I'm more concerned about am I getting in the right areas. We need to get above that red bar there. Actually, there is a failure there. No, there isn't. There is a higher low there, trapping that bearish bar. So we're clearly working up. So I would have expected that to get stopped out. That is not a short I would have taken. The fact that it's triggered below it and pushed up is a good sign, but you never know. My only slight concern is there's a bit of a distance between here and here, but we got very close to it, so this could go either way here. No point in worrying about it. I'll settle when we get above there. Oh, that's not looking good.
Order filled.
Okay, it is what it is. Unfortunately, now I don't think I can take
Order
another trade.
submitted.
Oh, I can. Perhaps I've set it to take 2, and that's it.
Order
that's
cancelled.
Fine. Friday high. You shorted the failure. See, we're going up, so I wouldn't have been able to bring myself to do that just at the moment. But it depends how you got this channel. I don't mind losing a few trades. It's going to take a little time over. I was speaking to Martin yesterday. He said it took him a few weeks to sort of convert over. But it's ironic, isn't it? First one moves, one I get in, decide to hold, second one doesn't. But I thought that would have got stopped out there with this thing moving upwards. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade's got this same channel, hasn't he? Yeah, so this is a break. I'm guessing this break is because of this. Because we've struggled to get there usually. So if we can get a measured leggy and a push up. More clear to, yeah, we do, yeah. Perhaps I should have left that. It's okay, it's all part of the learning. But yeah, I often say that whenever we don't get close to the top, we often get a break. Well, that's fine. That is a nice looking leg. So if we can get even close to that. So that NQ is looking the same as well. So let's get a buy order ready.
Order submitted.
And I'm not just going to ram it in above there. I want it to get above that EMA. So this is my second trade. I'm going to have 2 losses in a day. That is a leg and a leg. The beauty is if that closes bearish because it's not above that EMA, I don't have to take this. That will give it a chance to trigger, stop it out and come down this measured leg. If it does continue up above that EMA, then that is a good sign. But that is a clear 2 legs back. Let's get ready. Yeah, I should have left that one. I should have known better there. So let's have a look. Let's see where this closes. My signal bar not good yet. It doesn't matter to me about that. As long as we get that push up, 2 legs and a strong push up above that EMA, that's a good indicator for me. Clearly 2 legs. The NQ's not looking too bad either. 2 clear legs back.
Order submitted.
Okay. That goes there. This comes down here somewhere. Out before the highs. Two legs back and a push up. I'd prefer it to close above, I think, but there we go. I don't mind losing these. I'm not fussed. There's not a massive amount of liquidity in there. I am kind of resigned that this is the way I'm going anyway, so I've just got to go through those initial few weeks, just converting over. Karina Joe, the other who streamed, he's changed too. He goes for long targets with max context. Does he really? I kind of wanted to do that, but I just seem to get constantly sort of confused with, do I go for 6 ticks, 8 ticks, 10 ticks? So I've just got to lump it and go with it. I've got to go through that. I mean, that's, well, what do you do?
Order filled.
Leg and a leg, push up. Okay, 2 down, there we go. I don't think now I can take another trade, can I?
Order
I
submitted.
can, but I'm not going to.
Order canceled.
So it's just one of those things, isn't it? That one would have worked. The second 2 wouldn't have done. 1, 2. Why do I think that one didn't work? It didn't push up strongly enough, I don't think. I just got to go with it, haven't I? So that's frustrating. I'm going to have to go back and find out what I put where. After a measured move, maybe. I think the reason that didn't work is probably because it didn't have a strong enough push up. Actually, that is a better measured move, isn't it? Okay. One more trade.
Order submitted.
So I need it to push strongly up. Trouble is, if we have had a break from here, this could be a channel. So there's always a possibility. So I don't want to go long there, because if this is in a downtrend, that is the type of bar that's going to get stopped out.
Order cancelled. Yeah, the difference with that was a strong push above the EMA. Leg and a leg that wasn't. We just floated around the EMA. That's the difference. But I should have stayed out of that because of this. So what I will say is maybe let's consider this a break. I'll have to leave this. So at least the one thing anyway, we've got the NQ as well. So some of you NQ users. What I will say, we're going to break. First attempt tire, 2 attempts to fade. Yeah. Trouble is, there's a possibility if we have a breaky, it may come down and retest these lows. Trouble is, after that move, there's always that possibility we could have a bigger 2 legs. Could end up having something like that. It's possible, isn't it?
I don't mind losing some. I don't mind. I'm moving over. I just find Pat's just too fast for me. It fries me brain. I don't have time to think. But I've just got to adjust to this. That's all. See what happens here. See if there is a break here somehow. Then this may just be another channel down. Hmm. Down channel. What? This down channel with a break. Does he? I suppose if you go from there, yeah, it's possible, isn't it? So I'm just seeing if I'm seeing two legs there. So we've got a leg down and a leg down. It's not sitting in a bad place. Leg and a leg. The good thing is there's some shorts trapped there. Probably some there, maybe. Be good to have a good strong move above it EMA, but okay, so downtrend break, however you want to say it, wherever you say the break is. On a new low. So there's always a possibility there's a break from here somewhere. I don't know. I've looked on Thomas Way's Discord and they've got it like this.
Thomas Way's got it like that with a break there. So what do you do? He's kind of got it the same. I'm wondering, is that a better channel now? Trouble is, I suppose Mac will adjust it, won't he? From time to time. No. So leg and a leg, it's gone quite a bit far, really. I wouldn't want it to go much more. Yeah, so that was by far the most clear one. That I think I should have left because of this, but that's okay. It's okay. It's just, it's keeping those same principles with Pats, but adjusted them. That was a lot more clear, strong push up the EMA. We didn't get that there. So that's fine.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
So however you draw that, to me, that looks like an overshoot. In fact, if you put it tight to there, it actually looks kind of nice, doesn't it? So that is a clear overshoot. So whether we're going to get a steeper correction, then continue down, or whether it's going to push up. It's floating around that 50% level, isn't it, I think? So we're going to bounce, a bounce, a bounce. So, and that's a strong push off there. So, channel. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a quick minute.
Ah.
So we've got a channel down, one attempt to go higher. I don't think that really matters whether it's an overshoot anyway. So we've got a channel down, one attempt to go higher. Second attempt.
Order submitted.
It's kind of a lower high there. The EMA is a bit flat. I'm looking for more of a move, really. I'd like to see that trigger and then have another go. First entry. First attempt to go higher, second attempt. I want another push up. Leg down, two attempts to push higher, and another leg down. Get us down towards those bottoms. And there is a possible overshoot there, which could create something, a bigger leg, which I'm kind of looking for, really. I was hoping it was going to trigger that and stop it out. I think it's probably going to, but so I'd like another attempt. So that for me is one push-up, second push-up, and then a strong move below the EMA I'm looking for. There is a second entry short on the NQ. I think that's a bit of a weak position, so I'm hoping it'll stop that out. And if it does push up a bit, it might take that up above there and give us that second push up. Possible failure there. I'd like that to get stopped out. There's a bit, yeah. I'd like to take that out. Leg up and a leg up. Need to get up here, really. Come on, one more. Get a half decent move, we should hopefully get another leg down. There's got to be a break there. I can't see how that would come down that far, and there's so many places you could have got a break here. Depends if you've drawn that chart. It's not ideal, is it? I'd rather make that, get that above there. I mean, it is still possible it could come up here, break these highs. For me, it's just gone a little bit too far, I think. But anything's possible. Okay, so it's took out that little bit of liquidity there. So hopefully we may get a strong move down now. So leg and a leg. That's cleared out any liquidity that has. See how this finishes.
Order submitted.
Okay, one leg, two legs. We'll see. See if I'm reading this market right or not. This is going to stop me out for sure. I'm not reading something right at the moment.
Stop filled.
Okay, it's you have an overshoot. Yeah, well, there was an overshoot, so I'd expect a slightly steeper correction. But there you go. So that is it for me today, folks. I've had three it's part of it. I've just got to get on with it. But I'm changed over, and I'm just gonna sort of these accounts aren't going to last long. But I'm kind of not bothered. It is what it is. I'm not. I'm more focused on getting it right. So there you go. So that's it for the week. It's been a tough week anyway. But okay, I'm just going to study some of it more of this over the weekend. Find out where I went right. No, it's okay, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all part of it. But there you go. So look, yeah, it happens. There's a lot of chop today, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? So look, have a great weekend, folks. And I'll be back on Monday with a nice positive bit of energy for the week. So have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you all again on Monday. Bye for now.